yield all of a sudden reaches something like 10% on a spread, people will not be incentivized to trade anymore, and the entire thing will die off.
No, the spreads never change. So in Uniswap, the spreads never change. So basically your spread is the fee, which is funny. So it's not a traditional CLOB central limit order book. It's a constant product automated market maker, but it's not really constant product anymore because
between the different pools, like if you have a ETH Tether, right, and then you have a big Tether pool, you have a
I can tell you the day before yesterday, the largest traded volume USDC to Ethereum in the world was Uniswap. And if the world would just stop trying to use exchanges, they would find that you have thicker order books, better order execution, lower fees. So if you go on exchange, okay, they're going to charge you 0.5% to do trades very often.
And they can front run, whereas Uniswap, it's mathematical.
And they can spoof and do a lot of other stuff. Now look, you can say they can do minor extracted value, but like I'm telling you as a person that's pretty much expert on Uniswap, made it popular, carried it on my back, that Uniswap is a far better solution for your trading and has far more coins available to you, and you can place limit orders on it, and you can use 1inch.io if you're not in the United States, or you can use matcha.xyz, and it will spread your orders across all the available liquidity, and you can place limit orders, and you can place trades without gas fees. Like you can literally just like have someone else pay the gas fee. You'll end up paying it.
Richard, is if everybody pulls out their money from the exchanges, and
that would be better for everyone in the world. Except the margin trading degenerate scum who lose all their money. And it would be great if the only function these centralized entities play is to rob you of your privacy, rob you of your when they leak their database to everyone, or go bankrupt and give your data to the government, or answer subpoenas that the government gives them that are fishing expeditions, or the insiders that work there give away your selfies to everyone. Even Binance was hacked for $50 million. These people are the enemy.
But when you look at the market makers and the pools, right? If you have a disbalanced pool, let's say you have a pool of ETH and a pool of Tether, and the pool of Tether is much bigger than the pool of ETH, but yet, for some reason, all of the Tether holders want to get out because let's say things are unfolding badly, right? And then how do you get to liquidate the pool of Tether versus ETH in this case without damaging the kind of like the ecosystem itself,
Well, it all auto balances. The price just moves. So for instance, the person that emptied the FTX accounts, who's labeled in Etherscan as the FTX account drainer, that guy just yesterday or the day before market bought $50 million of Ethereum that used to be USDC. Now, probably he didn't want to have USDC come and invalidate his coins real quick. So he probably wanted to get out of that counterparty risk and get into Ethereum, which has less counterparty risk. And it worked fine for him. So unless any of you on the call have 50 million in your pocket that you don't want to just market buy at once, he did it like across 8 transactions, about 10,000 Ethereum each, some that were smaller. If it's good enough for the FTX account drainer, isn't it good enough for everyone else on the call, guys? It's great. No counterparty risk.
Rich, I have a question for Richard. What about the 97%? I have a question for Richard. What about the 97% of tokens that are scams on Uniswap? Is that a great idea for the world? Is that the great idea to shift the world to DeFi, literally like alienated probably 30 to 40% of the world? I'm just wondering, because this sounds like a very tribalistic approach.
Yeah, what I do is I try to not promote scams. So I don't talk about or promote things like Celsius or BlockFi or FTX or margin trading. And so I'm a good person that doesn't victimize my users. I save my users. And I also realize the solution to saving my users isn't censorship. And it's not making it so there's a centralized party that chooses who's allowed to make a coin and who's not. So in order for capitalism to work, you must allow competition, and then you have trusted parties, people that are considered experts that decide, hey, look, maybe you don't want to get into this coin that shows red flags everywhere with admin keys, and you can buy it, but you can never sell it. And the front end isn't decentralized. And the front end also tries to steal all your keys and give you to authorize your ETH for spending. And then a proxy changes the contract and empties all your ETH out of your account. There's a million ways to lose all your money in crypto, but people still promote the heck out of it. I'll tell you, people lost more money.
But the point Alex is making, though, is that Uniswap, as a non-centralized entity, there's no centralized party to
It's the
prevent
wild,
scams
wild
from
west,
exploiting.
Mario. It's literally like total recall. It's like, it's the future. I agree with 100%, Rich. It is the future. But right now, it's the wild, wild west. And literally, I know DGens who've been in this game forever, and they're still getting spoofed. They're still ended up clicking on a link, which is literally Binance with a extra dot or
Well,
a Binance.io instead of .com, and they get
let,
literally spoofed. So what about the
let's do a
average Joe who's
comparison real
not tech
quick.
savvy?
Let's do a comparison real quick. FTT was listed everywhere. Scam. Yams was listed everywhere. Sushi was listed everywhere, and then the dev exit scammed, but then magically they came back. Okay. Hex is listed nowhere. So Hex, the thing that works perfectly flawlessly for 3 years and was given away for free and went up 1,000,000%, it's listed fucking nowhere. But the scams are listed everywhere, including the front page of CNC, where Hex isn't. So I can tell you for a fact the things that would have saved everyone are hidden from them, and the scams that robbed them are shoved down their throat and on sports jerseys. So you'll see if you go to eToro.com, right at the top, 67% of users lose money with us at the top of the site. And then you see their banners and all the sports players running around. Hey, look, all our users are getting scammed. But we're allowed to advertise. But real DeFi, right? Not allowed to advertise. Banned. Can't advertise it. The world is not fair. It's a disgusting, horrible place. And the only way to solve that is for the people that were right to be listened to and the people that were wrong to be ignored and punished and censured. And I see a lot of people that used to promote, for instance, Gemini. Gemini promoted a fucking scam. They promoted the thing that just stopped letting you get your money. They should eat shit for that. Period.
I'm with you, Rich.
I didn't
I'm
promote
with
a
you.
scam.
I'm with you, and maybe it is unfair that people don't list Hex. But what I'm saying is, on the centralized exchanges, these are not scams. They could simply be failures, right? There's no exchange. If you go to Coinbase, never you'll see 97% of tokens scams. They're failures, obviously, just like all startups, right?
Even if you go to FTX, you go to the projects listed on FTX versus any 10 random projects on Uniswap versus 10 random projects on FTX. Uniswap is much more likely to have a scam project there because there's
Without
no
a
one
single
vetting
doubt.
the project.
Guys, pro tip, there's no way for noobs to even know what's listed there, okay? Someone has to feed the noobs to the meat grinder. The noobs are being fed to the meat grinder, not by Uniswap, the technology, not by Uniswap, the website, by scumbag shilling and by coin ranking sites. Scumbag coin ranking sites like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap are where the noobs get fed to these scams. That's where the noobs get introduced.
I agree with Richard on that. I mean, in the end, that's the job of the market to decide, and by trial and error to purge every now and then. But
Go to
ideally, in an ideal world,
uniswap.org and tell me what new
Yeah,
listings
but
are.
it's also
Impossible.
the job. It's also the job of the market to distinguish between centralized and decentralized, and there is onboarding and offboarding. And Richard is totally right that people should understand, but people will progress through a user experience as you offboard from fiat, and if you get wrecked with these experiences,
there's only one thing it can do.
But you can't get rid of centralized. It will exist, and
You can.
People,
You can get rid of it.
but
You can make it fucking illegal.
You'd have to make it illegal, and then you're using government enforcement and removal of. You're using the philosophy you're fighting in order to enforce your map of the world.
Is it healthy for people to go 100x, bro? And you can't
not.
100x in DeFi. You can't, but you can in centralized trash.
Yeah, but there's a difference between this is like the difference between communism and capitalism, right? You're saying you shouldn't do this and therefore it should be illegal versus
I'm not saying we got to make it illegal, but it should be on everyone's tongues like it's been mine for 5 years. Yeah. I've been singing the same song for 5 years with no changes.
Yeah, you should be doing what you're doing, which is shouting as loud as possible for people to try and follow your philosophy.
Yeah, get out,
the world.
Get out. Do not trade. Get out of centralized exchanges. The only thing DeFi can't solve is the fiat on-ramp crap and the margin trading with extra insane, stupid leverage because you have to over-collateralize in DeFi.
The case of like a stock market having to go through additional rules and regulations in order
something that just crossed the wires here. Market maker B2C2 offers to buy loans from Genesis's crypto lending unit. Also have just a couple things from the Bank of England Governor Bailey. He says he does not detect a systemic fallout in the United Kingdom from the FTX collapse. And said for 4 years, he has said there is no intrinsic value in unbacked crypto. But the big thing also to here being B2C2 is now offering to buy loans from Genesis Crypto Lending Unit.
Just to finish off
what
the
did you
topic
say?
on
There's
DeFi
no,
with the
there's
DeFi
no
guys.
value. There's
Yeah,
no
just to
value in
finish
what?
up.
Sorry, I missed that.
If I could just share one last thing, when it comes to comparing DeFi and DeFi, it is not true that Uniswap is superior to all centralized exchanges when it comes to execution technology. High frequency trading can trade 164 millionth a second in terms of trading. So the technology is definitely not there in terms of the trading speed and promising and getting the right quotes in terms of slippage and spread. So that is false information. But I just really want to make sure that, we're speaking from a point of love, guys. We're already fucking hurting. Everyone has lost their money. We're not here to be divided. We're here to be united. We're not here to be egotistical. We're here to be altruistic and inclusive. And I think it's really important that in these times, we should not be divided, guys. We should just all love each other, even though we understand the differences. But
No, but I think
shouldn't.
we need to push back on it.
No.
To Richard's point, the reason people are wrecked and hurting right now are because a lot of these CeFi lenders and exchanges basically trying to skew the actual playing field by promising yield that they can't actually generate. Whereas,
But
Richard's
Yeah,
point,
true.
listen to how
actually
stupid what
yield.
he just said was, okay? What normal human being needs to trade in a 64 millionth of a second? Absolutely none. So he just talked about a feature that's useless to absolutely no one on the planet except someone that's wrecking retail, right? And then explains it like it's better. It's not better, okay?
I
Go
agree.
to whatever
And there's
exchange
also
you're
ways-
trading on. You
Yep,
go to
and-
whatever. Listen, I'm pretty sure I've traded more than you, okay, buddy? Go to whatever exchange that you trade on right now, and you go type a market
Let's
sell
compare
for
in
$1
real
million
time,
of
Richard.
Ethereum.
Let's compare in real time, Richard. Go find your decks. I'll find my execution.
Sure.
Let's compare
I'm
in front
going
of the
to
community.
1inch.io.
You're
I'm
going to
grabbing my other
1inch.io.
phone. I'm going to 1inch.io.
But to Richard's point, I think the thing is, you can already do that type of trading with other assets. The reason that crypto was launched in the first place was to be a decentralized and permissionless system that's an alternative to the financial banking system. So I agree with Richard. Like, you can already trade other assets.
Don't stop the dick swinging. I want to hear that. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt. There was dick swinging going on, and it's a perfect time for some funnery. Richard, continue. Who are you vying against? I want to hear the volume. Go.
So I'm just saying, look, we're talking about technology. I'm talking about order slippage. This is math. This is facts. It's got nothing to do with PPs.
No,
if you go to right now, 1inch.io.
1inch.io, which is hilarious.
Yeah?
You just said people. But no, I want to hear. I want to hear. I was promoting this. Go.
Yeah, I'm on the website, bro. I'm typing numbers. Give me a second. Okay, so I can turn 1,000 ETH into, let's go with USDC here. My slippage on turning 1,000 ETH into USDC gets me $1.2 million. It's 0.11% slip, 0.1% slip. So I can turn 1,000 ETH into 1.198826 USDC right now. Now you go to your exchange and tell me what you get for 1,000 ETH order execution. Or we'll go 10,000 ETH.
I'm going to make a
Maybe
video
it's
for you,
easier.
Rich. I'm going to make a video for you so we can post it online and we can take this offline. Yeah.
So I'm telling you, for 10,000 ETH market buy right now on 1inch, I'm getting 11,932,000, just updated, 11,933,675 USDC. That's 0.58% slippage, including all the fees, including all the slippage, all the fees, everything. As a normal user on a normal exchange, you get 0.5%, not even including the slippage, not even including the bid-ask spread. It's the thickest order book for ETH USDC in the world, basically. You're going to get the best order execution possible. You can't get a better deal. And if you want an even better deal, you can use limit orders on here and get filled with no slippage at all, and without even paying gas fees. So like it's vastly superior. And I don't know why anyone would want to remove their privacy, de-anonymize themselves, have more slippage, have more beg the exchange for getting your money back. Hey, I just did $1 million trade. Can I please, pretty please get my money back? Please, please, God. Oh, your website went down, and now I can't even get my records for accounting anymore. Oh, I guess I'm really screwed now. So like it's just vastly superior.
Forget speed versus sorry. I think people forget the most important thing, which is cost, and speed is an inverse of safety. And by the
No
way,
one cares about speed.
That's what I'm saying. And just to point out one thing, how many people on this stage lost a ton of money on exchanges. Who's actually here holding money on centralized
I
exchanges?
can't. Just so everyone knows, Fox News Channel is currently covering us live on TV.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're currently live on TV, are we?
If you've never used
Hello.
Uniswap,
Yes.
you need to use Uniswap. It's the
Fox
future.
viewers,
Sorry, they're
Fox
playing
viewers,
us or
don't vote for Trump.
So
No
if they're
Trump
listening, are they going to
2024.
tell people to pull their money out of the bank and then destroy the entire system?
No, you can't. Look, man, that's what Jeff Bezos just told everyone to do. Jeff Bezos just told everyone yesterday that there's going to be a recession, and I'm pretty sure he knows. I'm pretty sure he does a lot of shipping. I think he knows what the state of the economy is. And his suggestion to businesses was, don't invest in risky things like new equipment. Save your money to survive. And that was his advice to the economy, was save your money. Now, look, Jeff Bezos might be one of the only dudes that I would say would be smarter than me. And if he's saying to save your money and to not take risks, it's probably good advice.
I don't know. It's probably better than listening to some beggar on the street. That's for sure.
cool. So I think we've done this topic. What is there any breaking news?
So just no breaking news, but what's just fascinating is that literally Fox News. So Chet was recording it. They covered our segment yesterday on Hunter Biden, so they put us on the front page, and now they put us live on Fox. It's,
What was the topic they covered?
I can't believe in this space that when everyone just got wrecked on centralized finance, that anyone would be like, "Yo, the orders are faster." You're just like, dude.
But it's important. But it's important not to forget.
Let me cover it. We have completely been saying not your keys, not your coins, take your money off exchanges.
But this guy wasn't listening. He just came in here and said the opposite.
No, I'll just say.
Hey, one guy skewed the conversation. Let's not let that take over the entire conversation.
Your complete strength is your complete weakness as well. Like you are, your delivery style gets maximum attention, but at the same time, it's completely polarizing. So it kind of turns it into a debate.
I baited him into promoting CFI.
My bad. I'm just saying that's why you always get a pushback, because at the same time you
I hear you.
people.
But but Simon, I might play devil's advocate and kind of make a point to on Alex's side. With Richard will hate me for this, but we can't ignore the amount of scams that happened last year in the bull market on decentralized exchanges. Like for us, for example, we invest in projects that we know are going to list on a centralized exchange. Doesn't guarantee the project is good, but it's less likely to be a scam. People invest in a project that's verified on OpenSea because it's less likely to be a scam. So people delegate the due diligence to those centralized entities because they have a job, they have a life. Yeah. So I think there is a place for centralized entities that this is what happened now is positive to decentralization. But
I tell you, it's real hard to talk about how good the blue chips are when the blue chips drop 85% and the scams only drop 100%. There ain't a real big difference between 85 and 100. They're kind of similar. So like it's when you're in an industry,
that is one of the problems with our industry, right? Is you can end up making more money out of a scam than a legitimate project. And that is, I've from being involved in this industry for since 2000, what's that, 13? Sometimes it completely defies logic, and you can literally, the right decision is often the one that costs you the most amount of money.
Crypto.com's 20% of their balance sheet is SHIB. It's real. It's like, fuck.
Well, the important part
didn't they defend that, saying that was that? Didn't they defend that though, saying that was their user deposits? By the way, shout out to you, Richard. When I saw that, I was laughing so hard.
And Robinhood's like 50% of Robinhood's profit.
It really is true.
No, the important part about that is that
these guys do is promoting the gen coins, because people are on this market for the most part. They're on this market for speculation, and that's the truth, right? So that's just the point I'm trying to make. Ultimately, there's going to be enough shit hitting the fan, so everybody will be covered. And at some point, people are going to make the right choice and trying to find what a real alternative to money.
Well, I don't think I don't think the risk-adjusted right choice is Bitcoin. I think being down after waiting 5 years shows you that, you can buy this blue chip and you're going to do worse, not better. I think the math is
Yeah, but
I think
if
that
you want to look where this is all going, just look at the traditional markets, which is the reality is the emotions of fear and greed that we're plagued by are the same emotions of fear and greed that plague the traditional markets, and in the end, everybody ends up, the vast majority, in the big pockets of money. Those that are contributing to their pension, and then the pension, and they outsource the investment decision making, because the reality of the world is we're all sat here on Twitter Spaces. We love this industry, and we literally spend day in, day out researching every nook and cranny. But the vast majority of the world, this is just a mechanism. Investing is just a mechanism for trying to get ahead of inflation, and they have other things they care about, which is where the unfortunately it's just a fact of the world. It's why financial advisors exist. It's why the buy side and the sell side exist. Is because that's the vast majority of the world are not going to be day in, day out trying to figure out how to further their finances.
See, that's what's great about crypto, is that everything is just number go up. And so if everything's number go up, you do it with less negative externalities. Uniswap runs without a big building of people. It just runs. Hex runs. Bitcoin kind of runs. You need some miners. But like it's less, it's better hours, it's better uptime, it's better security, it's better pseudo anonymity, and your numbers go up more. And so it's like, if you're not in crypto, the risk adjusted return in crypto is vastly superior than the stock market. Stocks went up threefold in 14 years. Property went up threefold in around the same time. And crypto went out like 30 million, trillion, billion X. And there's no comparison. So I would love to see crypto kill off all this stupid SoftBank and all this other crap, like people FOMO-tarting stuff that can't even go up. And it's all negative externalities. And half of it scams anyway. Just put all that money out of the stock market into crypto. I mean, you've got a huge dip now.
Yeah, guys, can I just mention that there seems to be a scammer out there that says buy Agao, which is my product, KGSU. My product is not for sale for retail, guys. I'm not selling anything here. And just to let you know, we just deal with.
Have you read the library case, my friend?
What?
Have you read the library case?
What's that?
Exactly.
Yeah, cover the library case.
First of all, everybody should be very aware. First of all, did you guys see the class action against FTX US?
Nope.
Go ahead.
A lot of fucking lawyers about to make a lot of fucking money. If you think all the money's being lost by the exchanges themselves, lawyers are going to eat the shit out of a ton of the liquidity from class actions. If one class action gets certified, consider your money going to us lawyers across the U.S.
Hold on.
And if you,
are you a lawyer? Can you? But isn't Chapter 11 bankruptcy?
Yes, I'm a lawyer.
And it protects class action?
Yes, I'm a lawyer, and I hate class actions.
No, I'm saying isn't Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it protects from class actions, right?
It depends on timing. It depends again on equity. So
yeah,
again,
what we saw in Celsius is all the lawyers came in and said, "Hey, quick, let's do class actions," and then it filed into Chapter 11, and then everyone just wasted their money.
Is that resolved yet?
Well, no, the class actions come after it's out of protection, but they just tried to race to get all the class actions in, and then
you're familiar with fraud, right?
Oh, right. Okay. So tell us that. Is that so? Will the class
fraud pierces bankruptcy?
So if it goes into Chapter 11 and all the class actions happen,
and they can prove fraud, yes, fraud pierces bankruptcy.
But when it push it into Chapter 7 liquidation, or how does that work?
All I'm saying is bankruptcy is equitable. So yes, how it's going to unfold, let me be very clear. None of this is legal or financial advice, and I am not an expert bankruptcy attorney, but I have dealt with many bankruptcies. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to try and bite from the bag one way or the other. I just wanted to throw out one last quick thing, which was the library case talks about it does essentially. It didn't make the decision. It was a summary judgment adjudication motion that basically said even if you didn't do an ICO, that does not protect you from not being called a security. So I heard somebody saying we don't sell our tokens on exchanges or we don't sell the public. Be careful. If your coins end up on an exchange using both UBO, which is ultimate beneficial ownership, which is how a lot of these coins are going to get smacked If you also combine that with the Ethereum jurisdiction basis that the SEC tried recently, saying that because 42 or 43% of the Ethereum validators are in the US, that could be the basis for jurisdiction. You combine that with the library case, and if your tokens touch exchanges, period, doesn't make a difference if you got an ICO, an IDO, an IEO, an STO, or anything else you want to call hiding behind your illegal securities that you didn't register, watch out.
So when new lower lows, when price dump? I want my targets to hit already. I'm sick of waiting.
That's another question by the audience. We've got an audience member, Dewey_Wester. If we calculate the shit show we just had, what is the sum of the shit show that is just about to cascade?
I think we're in the hands of lawyers at this stage, actually. I think it's the outcome of the cases. I mean, so Gemini, Genesis, all those are like pretty big players. I think really the ones, I guess the only ones that you'd need to look out for.
We forgot about Plus Token. The Chinese government has like a couple 100,000.
Yeah, that was like 4 billion or something, wasn't it?
I forgot about those guys.
And there was one in India as well, a crazy one.
Bro, you know, at some point, I think Ethereum has to decorrelate because there's too much sell pressure on Bitcoin, and there's just not as much on Ethereum. Like, I think Ethereum will dump harder, but like when it's done dumping, you know, down to Doomville, I think it should decorrelate.
Hey,
Richard,
Gemini
can I ask you a question?
just shut down withdrawals, by the way.
Gemini,
Richard, can I ask you a question?
Just sent it. I'm gonna read. Hold on, I'm gonna read it out. Chet, did you see the message? I don't know if you saw it in the group about Gemini.
Yes.
If you can review it and just confirm it, and then just announce it if it's if.
Let me tell you something, and I can quickly confirm. I thought I was unmuted. Maybe I was talking to myself. Sorry. I haven't looked at it in the group yet, but something just crossed my wires. Is Binance's founder says he's looking into acquiring Genesis loan book. So that CZ is now looking into acquiring Genesis loan book, and that is according to Blockworks, citing a source familiar with the matter.
We literally heard the same thing a week ago, dude.
Can I rephrase that?
He doesn't have stomach hands.
No, can I rephrase that? Binance is looking to acquire Gemini's licenses, not their own book.
No, Genesis. We're talking about Genesis, not Gemini.
Yeah.
Wolf?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Simon, I'm not sure if he was talking about this class action, but